Well, welcome everyone to the second night of week 5 of the LearnCoach New Zealand Badminton League. And this competition has just been heating up the whole way through. And last night we saw the first team book their place in the finals with the Tiger Brokers Tigers doing just that with a most impressive win. So we know already one team in the finals.
Where do you look?
And tonight there's so much riding on this match as well between the OnePure Wolves and the Huawei Dragons, and for different reasons, because essentially the loser tonight is gone. They can't make the finals. If you win, you keep your own destiny in your own hands. Joining me in commentary tonight, Glenn Cox. Glenn, this has been fantastic. The way this is heading towards the final week, there's something riding on every match.
Yeah, it is, and as you said, from last night we had who was playing off to see who's going through. Tonight we're saying who's playing off to see who survives. So, based on last time, Wolves this was their win, so it's really important for them to get it again.
Yeah, and they don't want to start relying on countbacks and how many matches have we won. That could come into the equation, but they've got to put that aside. They've just got to win. Doesn't matter whether it's 4-2, 5-1, 6-love. They've just got to win, don't they? Either team.
Yep, they need the points, and to do that, every match is going to count. Once again, I think in this tie, you've got some strength in the Dragons in the singles, and then you've got strength in the Wolves, probably in the doubles in the mix. So once again, it balances out quite nicely. So once again, anyone's game, who turns up to play, we'll find out shortly.
And we are seeing a wonderful quality of badminton that is improving each week. Some of the younger players are becoming more settled, more used to the environment. It's amazing the level of maturity that we've seen from some of the 16 and 17-year-olds.
And I think the event's key, and that's what is enabling them to play in this sort of environment, in this sort of pressure. And as you start to get used to that, you start to play better because you start to free up and everything starts to fall into place. Where when you're in the first couple of games and that, the nerves, the tension, all that sort of thing becomes a factor.
Well, let's have a look at the points table and just confirm for you how this stacks up going into this one tonight. As mentioned, the Tigers winning last night, going to 12. They can't be caught. They will finish in the top 2 and be in the finals. The Hawks are sitting reasonably pretty, but they know that if either the Dragons or the Wolves get a clean win tonight, take all 3 points, then they're right in the mix again. And underlining that if either of the OnePure Wolves or the Huawei Dragons are left on 4 after tonight, good night, it's over. They won't get into the finals. So much to play for between these two teams. Let's have a look at the lineups and your thoughts here, Glenn. Huawei Dragons, Ricky Olsen-Siegerman, you described their strength in their doubles combinations, but also, the singles with Oscar and Shauna. They have that edge, don't they, over their opposition tonight?
Yeah, they certainly have 2 strong singles components. You would expect them to have a couple of wins there, and then it all comes down to that doubles and mixed. But once again, if Guo or Leigh have an upset, it throws the cat amongst the pigeons. So they have to perform.
And we will see when we see the matchups that there's been a couple of changes, again, a few tweaks to those doubles combinations. Let's have a look now at the OnePure Wolves, and this is the side I was alluding to, that strong in the doubles, they've struggled in the singles. In fact, both their singles players 0-4, so they can't bank on any points there, can they?
No, but I think what you're seeing is Pack and Polosok really coming to some good form in their doubles and a real understanding, and the youngster really starting to step up and hold their own amongst that. So that's a really strong combination. And then I think they've got Anona Pack very strong in mixed, Oliver Leighton-Davis very strong in a doubles and mixed component. So their strength really lies in those matches.
All right, let's have a look at the way they'll match up tonight, and confirmation that in the mixed doubles, Jasa and Taggle against Feng and Pack. So again, the Wolves are keeping Oliver Leighton-Davis and Anona Pack separate in different mixed doubles clashes. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think once again, because they're likely to start with an 0-2 with the singles, they've really got to start picking up the doubles in the mix. So they've split them there to have a crack at both mixed, I think.
And of course, as mentioned in the singles, if Guo and Leigh win as expected, then that gives the Dragons a real leg up for the other matches going into later in the evening. But we're ready to go here. It's going to be fascinating. Mixed doubles, ready to play. Let's bring our players onto our show court. Mixed doubles to get us underway, and it is a mixed doubles clash that has seen the Huawei Dragons get off to a losing start every tie. I don't say that with any great delight, folks. I'm just advising you that the Dragons are used to trailing Love One after this first tie. Dylan Sajasa and Alyssa Taggle, and this surprises me, they're yet to get a win. Very competitive pairing, but just haven't been able to get over the line.
No, green or black? Green, black. It's green. You will serve, thank you. Thank you. Stay on that side, thank you.
So Richard Bramley with the coin toss, and Anona Pack calling correctly and choosing to serve. And if I picked up the body language there, I think she'll be serving to Dylan, but we'll find out momentarily as the players now enter their final 2-minute warm-up. You surprised, Glenn, that Dylan and Alyssa have been unable to get a win? It's been a very competitive competition, but they're better than that, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are, and both of them are really good players at mixed in the doubles component. Alyssa Taggle very strong on the front third of the court, and Dylan Sajasa is normally really strong from that back half, and to not have a win this far is quite surprising.
There's Josh Feng, who will play in the Wolves combination, along with Anona Pack, just 18 years of age. He is one of the youngest. He is something of a specialist expert, so we'll see him in the a singles expert, I should say. We'll see him in the singles shortly. Alyssa Taggle, 20 years of age, 4th ranked in the mixed doubles. And as mentioned, along with Dylan Sajasa, they're yet to get on the board, but I can tell you that in 3 of their 4 matches, they've gone to 3 games, and on 2 occasions, they've lost 9-11 in the third. So they're very competitive. They might feel that perhaps their luck is about to turn. Anona Pack, there she is, very experienced. At ranking 1st in New Zealand in mixed doubles, but she is also ranked 70 in the world.
Ready to play.
Of course, a combination with Oliver Leighton-Davis. So they are 2-0. Feng and Pack, they've just played the twice. And on the previous occasion against the Dragons, they defeated Oscar Guo and Ashley Tan. So they do have a win against the Dragons, but against a different combination. So first time that these 2 pairings have matched up against each other. How do you see this going? Is it time for Sajasa and Taggle to get a win, or are they going to be denied again?
No, I could think they're very much in the seat to have a win here, I would think. However, Pack and Feng in the 2 previous matches have actually looked pretty good, and you know, if they can build on that, and the
Ladies and gentlemen,
is very strong. But this is a good
on my
shot
right,
for Sajasa and Taggle.
OnePure Wolves, represented by Joshua Feng and Anona Pack. On my left, Huawei Dragons, represented by Dylan Sajasa, Alyssa Taggle. OnePure Wolves to serve. Anona Pack to Dylan Sajasa. Level. Play.
Gone long. Pack just asking if that might have been a racket on shuttle from the Dragons, but I think it was racket on racket.
Yeah, I think it was racket on racket, and the shuttle certainly travelled out.
Did it touch your racket? Service over.
Took a while, but that has been clarified.
1 love.
Good agility shown there by Feng.
Service over. 1 all. Over. 2, 1.
combination. Make no bones about it. Anona Pack is the skipper of this team. She will lead this combination.
It's over. 2-all.
Once again, a lot of these players train together, so they'll know each other's games very, very well.
Unforced errors starting to hurt the Wolves here.
2.
Always lifting with though the Wolves in that rally.
You really have to, if you're hitting up, you really, life expectancy is not great. So that's hitting down. Team attacking will normally always dominate.
This is turning into a very good start now for the Dragons.
2.
Fanny Megawati is going to call a very early timeout in the context of this match. The coaches each have 1 timeout per match. And Fanny, you can see Oliver Leighton-Davis in there as well as the senior player on the team.
Yeah, I think instruction might well be that they're lifting far too much, and by doing that, putting themselves on defence far too easily, and that's really letting Dylan Sajasa have a good attacking prowess from the back, and is that last one straight through.
And on occasion, when Josh Feng has had the opportunity to be aggressive, he has been quite passive, playing drops rather than playing with a little bit of pace. And not that he should all the time, but is there a need to mix it up?
Yeah, and also you've got to pick where you're hitting it hard. You can't just hit it hard and think it's going to work. You know, you've got to pick your spots still. You know, if you've got to smash, it's got to go in the right place.
7-2.
They need to react quickly if they are to stay in this first game. Doesn't get the roll. This is very impressive from Sajasa and Tagle.
It's over. 3-8.
Just wide, she anticipated well.
9-3. Over. 4-9.
I guess if you're going to make a mistake like that, you want to do it when you're 9-3 up.
That was really evident when Josh had that half-court lift there. He still smashed it at Dylan Sajasa, where he should have been attacking Alyssa Tagle. So maybe shot selection at the moment, he's not quite directing it in the right place.
He will back up as well and play in the singles following this match, Josh Feng. Tension there from Anona Pack.
10. Game point. 5. It's over. 6, 10.
Sajasa was off to high five
7.
Tagle, thinking they'd won the
10.
game. And then he heard the call. Starting to get into sweaty palm territory now, isn't it? They want to put this away, the Dragons. And they do, and they do. So, pretty impressive from Sajasa and Tagle. Just felt like Pack and Feng never really got a rhythm going. Couldn't decide whether
First
they were going to be
Hawaii
passive,
Dragons.
aggressive, or find
11.
the right mix.
7.
They've certainly got some work to do here, haven't they?
Yeah, I thought that the Dragons got into their work pretty quickly and reasonably error-free. So once again, forcing the points from the Wolves, and the Wolves naturally started to lift the shuttle in the air, and as soon as you do that, it makes you really let the opposition dictate what's going on.
And Dylan Sajasa almost, it seems, just has one thing in mind, and that is play with power. And if you're going to have that approach, then stick with it. And as you said, don't just smash for smashing's sake. Find your angles as well.
Yeah, I mean, and Dylan's experienced. I mean, if it's short and he can attack, he will attack. But he's also got the ability to turn the shuttle and take the pace off where he needs to. But he's identified that the lifts have been short enough for him really to have a good crack at. And a number of times they've gone through.
Remember, they are yet to win a match. Sajasa and Tagle. Is tonight their night. These teams desperate to pick up the 3 points on offer tonight to give themselves a shot of playing in the final. Remember, the Tigers are already there with 12 points. The Hawks in second with 7. The Dragons and the Wolves with 4. So a 3-point win tonight draws them
Second
level
game.
with the Hawks.
Level. Play.
A little more pace, flatter, and a little more aggressive.
Over. 1.
We'll see if
Low.
that's a pattern now from the OnePure Wolves.
Over. 1. All.
That'll certainly help them with that aggressive mindset. A couple of easy putaways.
It's over.
You've got to keep that
2.
going.
1.
That just lets
Over.
all the air out of the balloon.
All.
Air shot. Good serve.
3. 2.
Well played, Anona Pack.
It's over. 3. 4.
And remembering this is quite harsh on Feng because his main game is the singles game. So he's probably the one player on the court that's a single specialist compared to 3 that are doubles and mixed specialists.
Yeah, hence at times the movement might be a little bit foreign to him in terms of positioning.
And shot selection and bits and pieces.
The 2 times they have played, Feng and Pak, they've won. So Fanny Megawati thinks she's on to something.
Over. 5-4.
And tactically it's interesting, isn't it, Glenn? Because by separating Leighton Davis and Pak as a mixed combination, you're more or less saying we're out to try and win both. Because you're certainly taking away, arguably, New Zealand's best mixed pairing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard when, on paper, they're probably going to go 2 down on the singles.
Over.
So you've got to try and win 4 matches somewhere.
6.
She's upset with herself. It's very rare that you see Nona Pak without a smile.
5.
It certainly was a grimace.
Saw some uncertainty there from Feng and Pak on whose that was.
5.
And they almost both left for the other person. So Jas was able to smack that through from quite far back.
They're hanging in there though.
It's over. 6. 8.
Time Feng attacking Alyssa Taggle.
7. 8. Over. 9. 7. Anona.
Just those little mistakes and it starts to tighten up, and all of a sudden that 2-point gap is quite crucial.
Yeah, 2-point gap and 2 from the win. Match points. This is quite the turn-up. So Jasa and Taggle are 0-4 in the LearnCoach New Zealand League.
7.
Feng and Pak are 2-0. Those records mean little or nothing now because it is a win for the Huawei Dragons and a most impressive performance. I have to say that, Glenn, you saw this coming, suggesting that perhaps tonight was their time. So Jasa and Taggle certainly got it together, and that is a comprehensive win, and that gives their team so much confidence going into the singles matches, but just for the rest of the night, knowing they have to win to keep their hopes alive of playing in the final in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was a really good start by Huawei Dragons. They got into their work early and really dominated by being able to hit down for the majority of that match, and it really gives them the options of how to play when the shuttle's being lifted. couple of crucial errors probably for the Wolves, gave them those little bits of gaps, and the confidence grew, and they ended up playing really, really well. So they'll be really delighted with that start, because normally in the last matches they've actually dropped the first game. So they're on the winning road really early on, and singles to come and everything they play for.
Thanks, Glenn. Welcome in, guys. I get to talk to you guys. Yes. Well done. And I mean, what a time to pick up your first win, though. With everything on the line tonight, I'm sure I don't need to tell you that both teams need a win to give yourselves a shot at the final. But that win's been coming, though, hasn't it? You've been very close in 3 of your 4 matches.
Yeah, a lot of the matches have been close, and it's finally good to get one win. And yeah, I think our confidence is going to go up from here.
Have you lost confidence at any stage through the league so far, or did you always remain that self-belief?
No, I think we tried to make sure our focus was just to keep trying our best. So it didn't really matter what the result was, as long as we kept trying. Yeah.
You looked aggressive as well, Dylan. I mean, is that your game generally? You look to be in attack mode for most of that one.
Yeah, I like to jump, get up there, try and hit it down a little bit. But yeah, I like to play a bit of defense too, so it just depends on the day.
Good boost for the team. They're pretty happy with that, I imagine.
Yeah, very happy with that start.
Good stuff. Well done, guys. Congratulations. So the Huawei Dragons are away with the best possible start as Alyssa Tagle and Dylan Sojasa get their first win in the mixed in the LearnCoach New Zealand League and give their side a 1-love lead. We go into the singles now, and this is an aspect of the game that has very much favoured the Dragons. So can the Wolves turn it around in the singles? Men's singles is up next. Welcome back into the LearnCoach New Zealand Badminton League as we're underway, and a little bit of a surprise, a bit of a buzz around the show court here because the mixed doubles has gone the way of the Huawei Dragons. A 1-love lead over the OnePure Wolves, and a lot of people tipping that they would win both singles as well. So are they already in a position of dominance? But matches aren't played on paper, thank goodness. Otherwise, we'd have no fun. They are very much played out on court. And let's welcome our men's singles combatants, Oscar Guo and Joshua Feng. Now, just to underline why the favouritism sits with Oscar Guo, it's in isolation. It's the last time they met, and that was 11-3, 11-2 for Guo. Glenn Cox, that's hard to get that one out of the headspace. We'll listen into Vic Kim here, and then I'll get your thoughts on the way this one might go.
Service or end? Receive? Which end? This one. Okay, 2 minutes.
Because, and on top of that, Josh has yet to win a singles match. He's 0-4. Oscar's only 1-3. He's only won the one match so far, but everything points to an Oscar Guo win, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think in their last match, Oscar was quite dominant, and it really needs Josh to settle quicker and cut out the errors and force his opposition to earn their points rather than probably give away too many unforced errors. But these two have played against each other and trained with each other for many, many years, so they'll know what to expect from each other, and it's really about Josh stepping up and cutting out his error rate and forcing Oscar to play.
There is Oscar Guo, 19 years of age. As we've highlighted through this competition, has essentially taken the best part of a year off for his pre-med studies, but back and fully engaged, finding that balance between study and badminton and life generally. Has a world singles ranking of 379.
And prior to him taking that break, that world ranking was a lot higher. He was up in the 120s and that sort of area, I think. And even in his age group, when he was qualifying for the Junior Olympics, he was in the top 15 in the world. So he's had the experience of international competition and tournament play, and that still is reflective in how he conducts himself on court.
Josh Feng, 18 years of age, is the younger of the two. We've just seen him play in the mixed. He is, though, a single specialist by his own reckoning, even at that young age, so has thrown his lot into the singles. And he will be looking to turn things around on a number of fronts, from the mixed doubles that he's just played, his singles record generally in this competition, and from the match the last time these two met. So Josh Feng with plenty to prove.
Ready to play.
And Josh last year attended the World Junior Champs in Russia, so he's had that international experience as well. So it's just a matter of him settling down quickly, getting into his work and forcing Oscar to win points rather than giving him too many soft points.
And with Guo, we'll see the power game.
Absolutely.
Loves to be aggressive, doesn't
Absolutely. Yep. He'll come out and he'll hit it hard and he'll move quick. So he'll put the pressure on from the word go.
Last couple of serves, a couple of stretches, and just about ready to get underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Huawei Dragons, represented by Oscar Guo. And on my left, OnePure Wolf, representing Joshua Feng. Huawei Wolf to serve. Labo, play. One, love. love.
See Oscar Guo straight into his work. Get that advantage straight away.
Service over. 1, 2.
A little bit of pace on the shuttle there from Feng. Timing is awry from Guo. Can be a real confidence player too, can't he, Oscar Guo? Once he gets on a roll, he's a pretty good front runner, isn't he?
If he gets that tail up, he's awfully hard to stop. Just Joshua Feng just needs to keep with him.
Lovely touch.
4, 2.
An example of that power.
5,
This is just what we alluded to. He's on a roll, he's playing quickly and sneaking away.
Seven, 2.
Well, certainly the longest rally so far, but again, Guo always looked the likely winner.
8, 2.
And he really anticipated that kill really well. Drove it down the line, stepped into the net to get the weaker return.
Yeah, well played, Feng. On that occasion, he was the one to manoeuvre Guo left and right,
8.
backwards and forwards.
It's just so hard with the scoring system to give them that break of 3 or 4 points. Really hard to get back. So he's got to get a couple here.
Service over. 9, 3.
That's long. Well, the first time they clashed, it was 11-3, 11-2, and Guo has gained points again for 11-3. Oh, he's just toying with him now. Oscar Guo wins the game and wins it with relative ease.
11, 3.
So this is Big task now for Josh Feng to try and turn this around. Just cannot find any momentum coming off a loss in the mixed. Dropping that first one 11-3. It's at the moment looking to be a huge ask for the 18-year-old.
Yeah, I think he's struggling to keep the pressure on Guo at the moment. And once again, Oscar Guo is just really controlling everything that's going on. His length's good. He's attacking when he needs to, and Feng just makes 2 or 3 of those errors, and all of a sudden 3 or 4 point gap, and Guo's confidence goes higher and higher.
Fanny Nagawati there just talking with Josh Feng, trying to some sort of a boost, give some confidence, if not a tactical change to Feng. Needs to just try and find a way of lifting, and I mean that emotionally, not in a badminton sense. This will be followed by Shauna Leigh, current New Zealand #1 for the Huawei Dragons, up against Caitlyn Rosario. And Rosario, like Feng, is 0-4 in the league. So there's a very real risk for the OnePure Wolves that they find themselves 3-love down in the tie. Of course, if that was the case, that eliminates the chance of them picking up all 3 points. The best they could do is a win in Golden Game for 2 points. Pretty tough to combat, isn't it? Guo in full flight.
He's definitely got his confidence up, and Josh Feng just really struggling to keep in touch at the moment.
It's a rare mistake, and I think a broken string. About the only thing that's stopping him at the moment is equipment malfunction. Oh, that is some power, isn't it, to have in your arsenal?
Yeah, and when the shuttles hit that short, Oscar Guo's going to eat those up.
He's playing the angles, he's got his A game going.
As you mentioned before, and once he gets some confidence, he's pretty hard to stop.
Even when the opportunity presents, Feng just seems not in the right state of mind or form to hit a winner. He's got one. Subtlety, which makes the power all the more dangerous if you can't predict. Seeing history repeating. 11-3, 11-2 last time these two players met. Match points for the Huawei Dragons, for Oscar Guo to take out the men's singles and for his team to go 2-love up in double quick time. And there it is. Josh Feng has picked up an extra couple of points, but that's of little consolation to him from the last time they met. And he goes down again. Very easy win for Oscar Guo, and that is a real boost for the Huawei Dragons in their hopes of making it through to next week with the hopes of a place in the final alive. Oscar Guo, 11-3, 11-4. You can't help but be impressed.
Yeah, Oscar got into his work very, very early and really dominated probably from the start. And I think Josh Feng really struggled to keep in touch and keep up with the pace and the pressure he was put under by Guo. And really it was probably expected, but Oscar came out to do the job tonight. And I think by that scoreline, he's done it.
Thanks, Glenn. Well done, Oscar. You weren't messing about. You love playing it from in front, don't you? Once you get your tail up, you're pretty hard to stop.
Yeah, just like if you get a good start, you get good momentum, so I like to carry that forward.
And for the team, were you boosted by that first up win? It's an important one tonight, isn't it? Both teams must win. Did that give you a real boost of confidence?
Yeah, for sure. We knew like the first game was really important, so it's always good to play again when you know you already got one point on the board.
And you and your form, is it coming back after the lockdown and after so much time away from playing? Are you feeling better with each match?
Yeah, just like slowly getting there. It'll take some time, but I'll just keep working hard and just hopefully I'll be back soon.
Good stuff. Well done, mate. Very good win. I think you're just about there now with that result tonight. Oscar Guo with that win in the men's singles. So that's 2-love now for the Huawei Dragons. They're in control of this tie. A long way to go. But the next match now I think becomes critical. Caitlyn Rosario yet to win for the OnePure Wolves. Can she get that first win tonight over Shauna, Leigh and keep her team in the tie? It's the women's singles next. this one is stacking up at the moment. The Huawei Dragons and the OnePure Wolves, remember, both sitting on 4 points. The Hawks are within reach on 7, but the Tiger Brokers Tigers yesterday went clear at the top of the table and booked themselves a place in the final. So it's desperation times for both of these teams, and at the moment Huawei Dragons have got the best possible start, leading 2-love over the Wolves. So women's singles coming up next. Shauna Leigh taking on Caitlyn Rosario. Shauna Leigh comes in with the better record. She is #1 ranked in the country. Caitlyn Rosario yet to get a win in this competition. So we've already seen it tonight though with Sajasa and Taggle. They were in the same situation. They hadn't had a win in the mixed doubles and they took out that first match tonight. So Caitlyn Rosario needs to be inspired by that, even though it was from the opposition. But what's important is timing your run. And if players can find form going into the final couple of weeks of the competition, then they're setting themselves up nicely for a run at the title. But as has been mentioned, 3 points tonight is vital. If either of these two teams comes away without any points from the tie tonight, then they're out of it. They can't make the final. Welcome back to the Waitakere Badminton Centre as we await our next match. It is, of course, the women's singles. Shauna Leigh and Caitlyn Rosario standing by as we get ready to welcome these players onto the floor for our next match, women's singles. So the Huawei Dragons leading the tie 2-love. Best possible start for them, of course, and they'll be favoured, Glenn Cox, to win this one as well with Shauna Leigh, a 3-1 record. Caitlyn Rosario yet to get on the board.
Yeah, and I think last time, I think it was a reasonably comfortable victory for Shauna Leigh, but once again, Caitlyn's is quite capable of pushing this and turning the tables. It's just a matter of eliminating some of the errors she makes. She's had leads in a number of games that she's played so far in this event, and it's just a matter of capitalising on those leads and take them through to winning matches and winning games.
Holly Cho is the umpire for this one, and Richard Bramley, service judge. So Caitlyn Rosario, 19 years of age, out of North Harbour. Is, I was going to say reasonably tall, but singles players, of course, perhaps can be a little taller than their mixed and doubles counterparts. Current women's singles ranking of 4. Her opponent is this quite remarkable 16-year-old who's one of the real prospects in the game. I think of Oscar Guo going back 5 or 6 years as a young teenager, a 13, 14-year-old. He was really starting to make people sit up and take notice. Well, I think Shauna Leigh's performances here and in other tournaments as a 16-year-old, she is one to watch big time, isn't she?
Yeah, she's certainly come a long way in probably the last 12 to 18 months and has grown with confidence and got some good wins and won some good events. She's just going from strength to strength, and as you say, it's one to watch probably for the next couple of years.
What do we have here in terms of styles, Glenn? Contrast, similar? What should we expect?
Yeah, once again, Shauna's a little bit like Oscar's got that left hand, so she'll get good angles. Caitlyn is a steady and consistent player and good move around the court, so she's going to basically hit a lot of shuttles back, make Shauna play. And Shauna, once again, will have to use the court to open up the gaps to create the opportunities for her to hit winners. But she's very, very quick. And that left-handed angle she gets is really, really hard for some right-handed players to adjust to.
Final warm-up concludes, and we'll have our final introductions from the chair and be underway. The OnePure Wolves under immense pressure now to get on the board. No audio coming through at the moment from our umpire. Caitlyn Rosario will get us underway for the OnePure Wolves, looking to make a good start. Line. Not enough depth there from Rosario.
Yeah, I think that clear from Leigh got in behind Rosario, and she really struggled to get some length out of there. Reasonably comfortable for Leigh to put that away. This is important, like that men's singles that just followed. Rosario's got to stay in touch.
Yeah, I mean, she just lost that point, but you can already sense Shauna Leigh trying to set the tempo and say, catch me if you can. Better from Rosario, forcing Leigh into some pretty good court coverage. Shauna Leigh looks a little incredulous. It's been called good. And again, this is really impressive now from Rosario.
Yeah, starting to gain some confidence. Got good length at the moment.
just taking turns to score in bunches here. Good judgment. This is promising now for Rosario.
It's a really important little passage of play here. She's a couple of points clear and the confidence coming.
And then Shauna Leigh does that to you. Just a number of those attempted drops by quite a margin. Rosario just needs to improve on the margin of error on those shots. Try and stretch these rallies out.
Again, the lead's changed a number of times in the game. There's opportunities for both players.
Rosario needs to stop this run of Leigh now. Pushed it long though. Brings up game points. Huawei Dragons, it seems, can do no wrong tonight. Yeah, and there it is. So Rosario had her moments, but Shauna Leigh of the Huawei Dragons really seemed to have the better of that, despite the close scoreline of 11-8. Just a couple of lapses in concentration from Rosario. And it is Shauna Leigh that wins the game 11-8. Interesting that from a confidence point of view, Caitlyn Rosario not only has not won a match, but hasn't won a game. So she's been struggling confidence-wise, I would imagine, to feel like she's belonging in this competition, in the women's singles. Just needs something to go her way to give her that boost of confidence, to make her feel like, yeah, I can do this, I can achieve here.
And it's really interesting because in the matches I've watched her play, a number of times she's had the lead. You know, in that one, 8-6. So she's certainly put herself in a position to have opportunities. I guess it's that belief that you can go on and win. And if she can get a game or a match under her belt, I'm sure you'll see a major progression. It's just getting that confidence. And so far, it's capitalising on those leads that you get and not letting your opposition in and to come back. And most of the games I've seen her play, that's been the case.
This match went the way of Leigh. Last time they met in an earlier round, it was 11-5, 11-8. Caitlyn Rosario has on her CV from 2019 the Auckland Open title. So she knows how to win a tournament. She knows how to win matches. Just been struggling for form coming out of lockdown.
over. 1 love.
That shot's not been working for her, has it?
Subs over.
The first point of this game
1
she played
all.
really well. And the second point, she gave away a soft point.
And then plays a beautiful shot. That's a lovely touch, Rosario.
Subs over. Two, 1.
Oh, that is so good. Just stunning the shuttle.
Subs over. 2 all.
See those angles that left-handers can get and hit right across a right-hander.
That's good. Yeah, why is that? It doesn't seem fair. I mean, it shouldn't be an advantage, should it? Left-handers, they're just
3,
mirror
2.
image of a right-hander, but they do seem to create so many more angles. What does the science say, Glenn? Is that the right-hand side of the brain is the creative side and controls the left hand?
3
I think I've read something like that. Maybe that's got something to do with it.
No, I'm not sure.
Oh, well played. And that's the shot she needs to find.
Subs
The ability
over.
to either hit a
4,
clean winner
3.
or at least set up the rally.
Five, 3.
There it is again. When she hits that shot, she's going to be right in this match.
6, 3.
And this will help her confidence. Once again, she's got that lead, she's got to carry it on.
Subs over. 4, 6.
Oh, well played, Caitlyn. Stayed patient. Really had Leigh stretched throughout that rally, but resisted the temptation to go for an impossible winner and just bided her time. In the unforced error. And against an opponent the quality of Leigh, it's obvious, but you just cannot afford to gift any points.
And we know with the scoring system, you've really got to be ensuring you get every point you can and give nothing away.
A succession of errors really not being pressured into them necessarily by Leigh, but she's doing enough in the body language. When Rosario drops a point, she tends to drop her head. timeout. Fanny Magawati wants to have a chat here because that's 5 straight points from 7-4 up to 9-7 down. And have you picked up on that, Glenn? With Leigh seems to be much more the level of the two players. No major ups and downs based on the winning or losing of the point, whereas Caitlyn does, and it's understandable the struggles that she's had. She does appear to be more affected by losing a point, that immediately there's a bit of a drop of the head.
I think the area that was when she actually missed that easy smash in the middle of the court, and she had quite the big lead. And from there, it was about 3 or 4 points in a row that suddenly were gone, and Leigh was back in it. If that one had gone over and been put away, you had like an 8-4 lead, etc. So those small things can make such a difference.
And these will be good learnings coming out of this LearnCoach New Zealand League, if you excuse the pun. Players will be picking up on these sorts of things. Oh, that is good. I think that brushed the net from Leigh as it just went over. The perfect shot. Match points. Well, it's one-way traffic, and the Huawei Dragons are absolutely breathing fire. Not only are they 3-love up, but they're winning games, it seems, with ease. And certainly that was the case for Shauna Leigh, 11-8, 11-7, coming back from 7-4 down in the second. But in a funny way, always seemed to be in control and did what she had to do to win this match. And that continues a good run. She's now 4-1 in her singles matches.
Yeah, Andrew, I think you're quite right. She probably stayed at a more consistent level. But Rosario had really good patches, and then she had not so good patches, and that showed you the scoring variations of having those leads in both games. And then Leigh able to come back and literally go almost straight through to win each game. So some learnings there for Rosario, but Hawaii Dragons 3-0 up and going well.
Thanks, Glenn. Going well, all right. Glenn's just said Dragons going well, 3-love. It couldn't be going any better. Are you pleased with your form?
Yeah, she played quite well today, so I was a bit tired at the start, but she definitely made me run for it, and yeah, glad I got the win at the end.
7-4 down in the second, but you stayed pretty calm. Certainly that's the appearance that you're giving. I know you said last week you get nervous inside, but you look to be very calm. You didn't panic?
Yeah, I think I was quite calm today. Just keep telling myself to calm down, so that usually helps.
What are the big learnings for you coming into this? You're the #1 in the country, but you're 16 years of age. What are the learnings for you coming into this and the matches that you've played over the last 3 or 4 weeks?
I guess also we're just getting started again with tournaments, so have to learn how to perform again and play to my optimum, I guess, and yeah, try and perform every week, which is always difficult, but yeah.
Well, you're going great, and a very good performance tonight. Puts your team 3-love up. Well done. So Shauna Leigh, with a good win in the women's singles, takes her personal record to 4-1. But importantly tonight, on a night when these two teams were desperate to get the points to keep in touch with the leaders, it's the Dragons in front. 3-love. Can you believe it? They lost this tie 4-2 against the Wolves last time. Up next, and they are desperate now, the Wolves, it's the men's doubles. You're back with the LearnCoach New Zealand Badminton League as we're watching quite the match unfold. This tie is very much in the control of the Huawei Dragons. They have comprehensively outplayed the OnePure Wolves to this point. I say to this point. They're 3-love up, but there are 6 matches to be played on the night. Let's have a look at the way they play out. We're followed, this men's doubles is followed by women's doubles and then the mixed. And we're now moving into the strength of the OnePure Wolves. So it was always expected they might drop the singles. The surprise was dropping that opening mixed doubles. But can they come back to make it 3-all and go to golden game? Here they come, the men's doubles. They've got to try and put that scoreline aside, put it out of their heads, the OnePure Wolves. They must, at the very least, to keep their hopes alive, they must get to golden game. And of course, win it if they can. Take 2 points and stay alive against the Hawks next week. Richard Bramley, Vic Kim in control.
Dylan, green. You'd like black? Green. And it's green. I'll let you see. Adam to receive, thank you. Happy on that side? Thanks.
And Oliver Leighton-Davis, who is the captain of this team, if you like, he's had to watch all of this unfold, not be able to do anything. And the risk, the risk is that he tries to do too much now. So we'll see how this goes. He's clearly the leader on his team. We'll have a look at all 4 players. Adam Jeffrey at 19, part of a combination that is 2-2 so far with Dylan Sajasa. With we've talked about these rankings for Adam, that I think they're only going to improve, and perhaps dramatically over the next year. I think he's a player very much coming into his own in his late teens. Oliver Leighton-Davis, he's out of his late 20s now, into the 30s, but of course for a doubles and mixed specialist, that suggests perhaps another 9 or 10 years in the game, if he so chooses. He is New Zealand's most experienced player with 3 Commonwealth Games and 4 World Championships to his name. Evan Wong is like Jeffrey, 19. And he's the junior partner, but must contribute, must step up if the Wolves are to win this. They are sitting at 2-2 as well, Leighton-Davis and Evan Wong. And there's Dylan Sajasa, who already tonight is buoyed by that mixed doubles win with Lisa Taggle. And is ranked the number 2 mixed men's doubles and number 6 mixed doubles player. So again, this is his office. This is his game. Is that a risk, Glenn Cox, that Oliver Leighton-Davis hasn't played? Has
ready to play,
unfold. He's been involved. He's been in a few timeouts with the coach. He's just got to put all that aside now, doesn't he, and focus on playing good badminton.
Yeah, the work starts for him now. So really, they're back against the wall. They can't afford to drop anymore. So this is where the One Wolf strength comes in, and we'd be expecting them to possibly pull the result out of this one. So but Oliver Leighton-Davis here, he'll be well aware. So he'll be geared up to get them on the board and get them underway. And once again, this 3 matches away from golden game. So that's what their target will be now.
And the pairing we just saw on camera for the Huawei Dragons, a very good win last week over Abhinav Minota and Ryan Tong. They won it 11-4 in the 3rd. That was a big scalp. So
ladies and gentlemen,
they're in pretty good form.
On my right, OnePure Wolves, represented by Oliver Leighton-Davis, Evan Wong. On my left, Huawei Dragons, represented by Adam Jeffrey and Dylan Sajasa. OnePure Wolves to serve, Oliver Leighton-Davis to Adam Jeffrey. Love all. Play. One. Love.
Good strong push from Leighton-Davis.
2. Love.
Good solid start from the Wolves.
3, love.
Judgment by Adam Jeffrey. Well played. I said he's got to contribute to Evan Wong, and he's more than capable.
4, love.
These two combinations did face off last time in the league.
Timeout.
And
Huawei
there's an
Dragons.
early timeout from Ricky Siegerman. Just wants to have a chat. Perhaps the earlier instructions didn't get across, but when they met in the first round, it was 11-6 in the third to Leighton Davis and Evan Wong. So they've got that good memory to fall back on. So I think Jeffrey and Sajasa have been improving through the tournament. Not that the scoreline right now would back that up.
Yeah, it's a great start from the Wolves. They really have done nothing wrong in the first 5 points, and they've really dominated. So I think the coaches come in to try and stop
20
that momentum.
seconds. 20 seconds.
We'll see if they can get on the board and get into the game.
And I overheard Oliver talking to Evan just prior to coming on
5,
court, and he
love.
was just reinforcing the first three, as in the first 3
Play.
shots every rally.
Yeah, real
Set
important.
up the point. And that often means, Glenn, don't necessarily go for a winner. You know, just
1,
play within the margins
5.
and set the rally up.
And really important again, put the shuttle in the right place.
2, 5.
Here's an example. Not able to get that back in play.
3, 5.
Just what the Dragons needed here.
Play. It's over. 6, 3.
I think we'll see this tactic throughout the night. Leighton Davis setting the pace, and by that I mean a slow pace. I'm not talking about the shuttle speed, Glenn. I'm talking about the time taken between points.
7.
It's controlling the whole speed
3.
of the match and playing it at their speed. Not necessarily what your opposition are trying to do, but slowing it down a little bit, getting set.
It's over. 4, 7. Five, 7.
It's 5 love, remember. This is a good comeback from Jeffrey and Sajasa.
6, 7. It's over. 8, 6.
Great defense, Sajasa. Wow, what an important point as well.
Yeah, there's a very big difference between
Over.
7-8 and 6-9.
7-8.
Okay, so the deficit wiped out. From 5-love down to 8 all. You'd take that any day of the week. They might even now be favourites. They'll take it. I'm not sure
It's over.
they were 100%
9.
certain in leaving.
8.
Oh, well played, Leighton Davis. Not just to get a racket on
10.
it, but to direct it
Game
to the
point.
open court.
8.
He covered some ground there, didn't he? So 5-love, they let it slip a little, 8 all, but they then closed it
First
out.
game won by OnePure Wolves. 11-8.
And it really is like watching the coach and the player out there on the courts, and that's where Leighton Davis just has to find that balance and allow Evan Wong the freedom to play his game, but still give him the guidance, whereas Sajasa, the senior player, in that combination with Adam Jeffrey, but seems there's less of an obvious skipper, if you like, in that pairing. Game on though, isn't it, Glenn?
Well, it's like the cliche game of 2 halves, wasn't it? Well, it was a game of 2 and a bit halves, because the first part of that game, Wolves were dominant. The second half of that game, the Dragons came in as being dominant, and then there's just that little couple of points at the end. So it turned out from what I thought was going to be one-way traffic, and no longer is. So it'll be very interesting to see how who gets the good start in the second game.
We've talked a little about the younger players and the obvious benefits they're taking away from the LearnCoach New Zealand League. I think Adam Jeffrey's one. I think he's loving this and making improvements every time he's out on the court, rubbing shoulders with very good players, and he's a very good prospect in his own right. But you know, these 5 or 6 weeks are just like gold to these teenagers.
Yeah, I think the development program and development players have really stepped up.
Second game.
Great experience for them.
Level. Play.
Oh, Leighton Davis advancing.
You can see the combination starting to develop as well. From now they played a few matches together. He had half a head start to knowing where Wong was going to smash that.
I mentioned this last time they played, but we do have the New Zealand under-19 men's doubles winners out there from last year. Jeffrey and Wong are on opposite sides of the net. Nice, Adam Jeffrey. Supple touch.
Two. 1. It's over. 2 all.
And that was role reversal. This time it was Wong knowing where Leighton Davis was going to set the point up from.
3, 2. Out. It's over. 3, all. Oh. It's over.
That might have been that
4,
knowledge
3.
of each other there. Wong seemed to sense that serve coming. Serve lifted from Leighton Davis.
Over. 4, all.
Starting to combine nicely. This game very much point for point.
So it's over. 5, 4. Six, 4. It's over. 5, 6. Play.
Leighton Davis took a risk there and jumped very quickly.
6, all.
Didn't pay off.
That was a good serve, so wasn't too much he could do with it.
It's that awkward one when the shuttle's coming back at your off shoulder.
7, 6.
Just before it was those first 3 shots.
Out. Tips over. 7, all.
Back-to-back winners might be the difference, but equally back-to-back unforced errors. 2 blinks first.
It's over. 8, 7. Let's.
Evan says, well, no, let's play.
Evan.
I was ready. So
You need to be ready to receive when he's ready to serve. Thank you. Play.
here is the vital 2-point break.
9, 7.
That's about as far as the separation goes, though, in
It's
this
over.
second game.
8, 9.
Brilliant by Adam Jeffrey. Just instinctive
Over.
hand-eye coordination
10. Game point. 8.
to level it up at 1 game apiece.
It's over.
I'd call this one a fairly important point.
9, 10.
With a fair amount of understatement, Glenn. And the Dragons can't close it out. And we were talking
10.
off air, and
All.
I think you recall that the Dragons might have had a match point in this match last time round, and they couldn't close it out. That was just for a game, but nonetheless, very important. Must win by 2.
It's over. 11, 10.
Good return. Evan Wong has been impressive in getting back
11.
to those flick serves.
All. It's over. 12, 11.
Lost that in the lights. Perhaps Oliver Leighton-Davis. It's off the frame of the racket, and we are going to a third. So good recovery, Jeffrey and Sajasa.
Second game won by Huawei Dragons, 13, 11.
And that just puts everyone a little bit more on edge. If the Dragons can now win this, that sews up the tie.
It's interesting. I think you look back at the last game these two played, and it's actually reversed. It was the Dragons that won the first game and lost narrowly in the second game. But the Wolves had a really good start in the third game, so that could be key in this one as well. Who's going to get that good start in this third game?
OnePure Wolves just playing with that added tension in those racket arms, knowing that they're 3-love down. That scoreline does afford the Dragons just a little more freedom. They've still got to, of course, step up and play good badminton, but their minds are perhaps just a little more at ease. Sometimes that can be the difference. A number of the players in last night's tie were saying, Glenn, that they'd made a decision coming in to play without pressure. But some of them had been putting too much pressure on themselves. Maybe first time on TV for the younger players in this different environment. And it was noticeable last night that by bringing an element of fun, just relax, just enjoy it. And that's easier said than done, I know. But if a player can master the art of that, it can certainly help them.
Final game.
Nerves.
Level. Play.
Once again, it's quite a different environment when you're playing in a team, and for a lot of these players, we don't often play as teams, and that adds that tension.
Let's just hit that one wide.
2, love.
Continues to be same pattern, but in mirror image here. So last time the Wolves with a good start in game 3, and now it's the Dragons. Okay. They needed to stop the rot there.
It's over. 1-3. Two, three. It's over. 4-2.
Oh, what a way to turn defence into attack. With one big step, Oliver Leighton-Davis turned their fortunes around.
3-4.
That's real experience, flattened that one out and just came in on the net.
Dragons weren't quite flying, but Sajasa was diving. And they're just going to have to tidy that up. He's left quite the mark, I think, of perspiration on the court. But this now is very much developed into a most intriguing match.
And the outcome on it is so important. 7 points away from a win, or 7 points away from staying in the tie.
And in the overall competition in the league.
4-all. Play.
These two teams starting tonight at the foot of the points table, 4 points each.
Four. It's over. 5-all.
Ultimately, it's Sajasa. Jeffrey did so much of the legwork there, though.
Six.
One thing you can reckon
5.
on, if you keep lifting, you're going to lose.
Yeah, you have to try and change the momentum in the rally. Well, we talk about to 11, but it wouldn't surprise me if the numbers are much higher in this game.
6-all.
It's really going point for point at the moment.
15 is the magic number. If we get to 14 all in setting, then that becomes a game point, and in this case it would be a match point either way.
It's over. 6.
Pouncing. Should I say Wolves prowling at the nets.
It's over. 7 all.
Who holds their nerve? Well, Leighton Davis, we've mentioned 3 Commonwealth Games, 2 World Championships, 4 Oceania Championships. He's played at 3 Sertiman Cups. I don't know that any current New Zealand player with the wealth of experience that he has. Can he carry Evan Wong, his 19-year-old playing partner, who's playing superbly? I say carry only in the sense of that experience. And they've just pulled out 3
match point,
perfectly executed points.
Over. 8, 10.
And they win it. What a performance, much to the delight of their teammates and supporters. Well played. Both combinations, really intense men's doubles. And it was Leighton Davis and Evan Wong who had to get on the board, and they did, winning it 11-8 in the third. What a battle, but in the end, played
match
those
won
last
by
3 or 4
OnePure
points really well.
11-8, 11-13, 11-8.
And as you're saying before, it's very, very hard to avoid the pressure and the tension, and you could see it, you know, mounting in that third game between both pairs as it became vitally important to see who came out with the win. But it's really pleasing to see that I think the standard of the doubles has improved from the beginning of the tournament through to now, and especially with the Wolves combination of Wong and Leighton Davis. They're really combining quite well now, and they're starting to get an idea of where each of them are going to hit it. And I think Oliver Leighton Davis really, on some of those crucial points, showed his experience, and they came out the winners, so the match is still live.
Both of you, and I've just done that because that was pretty tense, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a tight game.
A good game to win, though, when you're 3-love down and you face that sort of pressure. That's what all the preparation's about, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I guess we don't have a choice. When we're 3-zip down, we have to win to keep us in the game, and we did. So, yeah, really happy with the way we played, especially stepping up at the end of the third like that when it could have gone either way in the mid stages there.
The last 3 or 4 points. I think from memory you might have been 7-6 down. It was certainly 7 all. You played the last 3 or 4 points really well. Did you feel calm inside?
Oh yeah, had a sense of security since I have Ollie behind me, so he can take all the hard shots. I take the easy shots.
This fella's playing pretty well though, and the improvement across the whole competition for so many combinations, but the improvements there, and for players like Evan, this tournament's been wonderful, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. I think even we saw it in that match there, so towards the end of the second we weren't quite as good as we needed to be in the tight situations, and we made a little adjustment just to keep things a bit simpler at the end of the third, and yeah, executed really, really well. So
you've kept the tie alive. I'm sure that's what it was all about. So golden games on your minds now, isn't it? So win the last couple and very much keep it alive. Well done, fellas. So the OnePure Wolves win the men's doubles, Oliver Leighton Davis and Evan Wong, and they keep the tie alive for their team. The possibility of a golden game, that might be put to bed in the next one. They are the favourites in the women's doubles, but they have to keep winning the Wolves if they are to force this one to 3-3. Women's doubles is next.
Welcome back. The LearnCoach New Zealand Badminton League on Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport 9. Great to have your company with us from around New Zealand and indeed around the world as the OnePure Wolves keep this tie alive. 3-love down, but they win the men's doubles to go to 3-1, and their dreams of forcing a golden game very much still alive. That mixed doubles could be crucial between the two singles specialists, Guo and Shauna Leigh, up against Leigh Davis and Rowan Palasuk. How crucial? The next match will tell us. Let's welcome our women's doubles onto our show courts. And if there's one match tonight that the OnePure Wolves are warm favourites in, it's this one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that the form of the Wolves and the ladies doubles has been outstanding, and I think they haven't dropped the match yet. So they'll be looking to continue those results now and force it to a decider in that sixth game.
So Vic Kim and Holly Cho in control of this one.
Ashley. Okay. Ashley, green or black? Black? You green. Green. You serve. Which end do you want? That one. Receive. 2 minutes.
Final 2-minute warm-up. Players, of course, have been very much hitting and getting ready on the back courts here at the Waitakere Badminton Centre. And the temperature just cooling. Not anywhere near as cold as last week when, goodness me, we were threatening to bring electric blankets into the venue. But it is starting to cool down a little tonight now. As we see Anona Pak, well, we don't see it. She's just to the left of shot. Come on, Anona, come and join us. 26 years of age. We've already seen Anona in that opening mixed doubles. They lost that. There she is. So she'll be very keen to help get her team back in this contest. Shauna Leigh, who was dominant in the singles and now plays in the mixed and in the women's doubles, and then will play in the mix. So she's busy tonight. 3 matches for her. Ashley Tan, by contrast, this is her only game, the 16-year-old. So she can pour all of her energies into this one. And Rowan Palasuk there, front of camera, also 16, and has just been a delight to watch in both her doubles and her mixed, learning so much and contributing so much. They are 4-0, Palasuk and Pak. And last time, when these two teams clashed, it was a win for Palasuk and Pak, obviously, but they did play a different combination. They played Shauna Leigh and Alyssa Taggle. So that's where there's been a change-up in the combination. Shauna Leigh and Ashley Tan here played last week for the first time and had a win over the Hawks. So
ready to play.
Ricky Siegerman, I think, still looking for her preferred combinations in the mixed and the doubles.
Yeah, and I think she's trying something different here. I mean, as you say, the last time the result was went one way, so she's throwing a different combination out there to see if she can change that result.
So, 2 youngsters and a third in a Wolves uniform, but then you have Anona Pak. There she is, clearly the senior of these players, both in age but also experience and matches played.
Shauna Leigh and Ashley Tan have played a lot of doubles together too. They played through the age group and bits and pieces, so they know each other's games. So it'll be interesting to see how they combine at this level.
OnePure Wolves, represented by Anona Pak, Rowan Palasuk. On my left, Huawei Dragons, represented by Shauna Lee, Ashley Tan. One up to Ashley Tan. Love all. Play.
Oh, well, we're in for a bit of fun. If that opening rally's anything to go by, Shauna Leigh won't agree with me with the air shot to finish it, but that was pretty well played by both combinations. Looking to be aggressive.
Looks like what's written on the faces is they know what's at stake here.
That's over. 3-2.
I don't think they were ducking thinking that was going out. I think they were ducking thinking my partner's got it. Oh, that serve lifted and begging to be hit away.
So important to do those simple things right. You serve, you return a serve, and don't fall back that third shot.
Enjoying this opportunity to end a number of these opening exchanges at Palliser. Oh, that is quality.
6-4.
And likewise.
Over. 5-6. Over. 7-5.
matters what age is out there at the moment. They're all prepared to mix it.
Yeah, and this is evidence, I think, of this competition. You know, we're in the later stages of round robin, and everyone's getting that much more comfortable. It's fair to say, Anona Pack didn't agree with that decision.
Over 8-0.
All set up from the serve.
9-8.
Such an advantage predicting the next shot. A rear miss at net for a Palasuk, and not a good time for it. Game point. You could almost hear the desperation in the voices of the Palasukan pack. They were on their heels, defensive throughout that rally. And a very close first game goes the way of the Dragons. Already tonight, we've seen an 0-4 records. Their duck broken, if you like, for Sajasa and Tackle. The Dragons won their first game in the LearnCoach New Zealand League tonight. In a similar fashion, but in reverse, are we about to see a Palasukan pack lose their first game?
Well, I think the Dragons have come out and really have nothing to lose. They've thrown everything at it and are playing really, really well. Both are combining well. They're winning points from the net. They're heading down and attacking. And I think you're seeing some uncertainty and some nervousness just starting to come into the Wolves pair. And some of the things aren't quite going to plan, like the call that Anona Pack thought was out and it was called in, so that threw her for a couple of points. And that's all it takes when you play to 11. And as we see, 11-9, and they've got all the work to do.
Still right in it though, aren't they?
Oh,
clearly. Yeah. They're not unbeaten for no good reason. They will fight back, I'm sure. It's the youngsters on the left. Just, as you say, Glenn, just playing without fear. Two 16-year-olds playing at a remarkable level. course, at the end of the night, we will have our Crystal Ashley Designs MVP. Crystal Ashley Designs, wall art, room decor, giftware. Wonderful presentation at the end of each tie, along with $100 to the MVP.
Really a must-win game for the Wolves.
game. Level. Play.
That's not the way to start.
You just start to wonder if she's just trying too hard, and it's just throwing the timing out, and things aren't going according to plan. She's just trying that little bit too hard.
I thought that had to be going wide, Glenn.
Had some angle, and I'll tell you what, it almost brushed the net as it went over, I think. Very tight.
It's pretty rare that that smile is not on the face of an owner pack. That might help bring it back, but
I'm not sure it's there at the moment.
It's still not, but it might not be far from a return. There it is.
Play.
Really does play with just a beautiful serenity at times and very calming presence. An owner pack, and yet she has been ruffled a couple of times here tonight. Tan took the risk, and fair play to her. Trying to be aggressive, take the initiative, but just stepped into a flat shuttle. Couldn't react.
It didn't miss by much, it just caught the top. She was certainly taking it to them.
Vic's having nothing of it, says the shuttle's okay. What are the odds now? It gets changed now. No, Tan's going to continue on.
What we say about the simple things?
Well, and nerves will show up first and foremost in that service action.
Service over. 3-6.
Oh, goodness me. That stopped for a long weekend on the net. Had a little domestic holiday post-lockdown.
I don't know.
Oh, it's gone wide. You almost felt like you wanted to give them both a point. Hard to fault either combination throughout that rally.
That'd be the rally of the night, that one, I think. Great women's doubles.
Oh, this is quality, it really is.
To think we have one final week of round robin next week before finals. There'll be a playoff for third and fourth, and then the final.
Oh, asking too much there of Anona Pack.
7. Time. Out. OnePure Wolves.
And a run of 4 points for the Dragons sees Fanny Megawati call a halt to proceedings, because they are now in dangerous territory here. Leigh and Tan have fought their way back and now 4 points from the match and the tie. Just stayed really calm, haven't they?
Should be trying to settle them, and they're trying to rush things, and the young ones are back in it and looking the better at the moment.
Showing great patience. These long rallies, the temptation for a young, inexperienced player is to perhaps try and hit a winner when it's not on. They're just staying very patient.
As you mentioned before, they've played together quite a bit, so they've got an understanding.
Seven, 6. Play. Over. 7. All.
Well played, Rowana Palasuk.
Over. 8. All.
Oh, this is quality. It's one of the best matches we've seen the entire LearnCoach New Zealand League.
Over 9-8.
And still really composed, not making errors, and patient.
And I just remind all badminton fans in New Zealand, there are 3 16-year-olds on the court.
She who hesitates is lost on that occasion. The Dragons'
Over
first sign
9-0.
of an issue for them.
A little bit of stress just showing on the faces of the Dragons as they are ready to receive.
Scrambling, but Anona Pack puts it away. Raises the fist and says, we're right back in this. We're going to a third in the women's doubles. And why not? Certainly all the neutrals will be applauding. Why wouldn't you want a third game? This is wonderful to watch.
It's like a roller coaster, isn't it? You're up 1 minute, you're down the next, and it keeps going around and around. So game's still on, tie's still on. And once again, it'll be who gets that good start in the third. Can they keep in touch, or does someone get that lead? They'll 11 points can go very, very quickly.
Fanny is laying down the law, I think, as to what she wants to see. And it would pay to listen. Wonderful career for Indonesia. Semi-finalist at the Uber Cup in '88. Quarter-finalist at the Indonesian Open as well, a highlight in her home Open. I think it's a wonderful aspect, Glenn, and in your role as Chief Executive in North Harbour, the different cultures, the different coaches, the different philosophies that they bring into the game in New Zealand. It just must make for a wonderful melting pot.
Yeah, it's huge now, and with the high migration in the Auckland area and the strength of the Chinese and Indonesians and Koreans, just makes a fantastic badminton environment. That was a great shot.
Oh, well, that just evens the ledger, doesn't it, in terms of the luck with the roll of the shuttle.
You might apologise, but I think you're still pretty happy it's gone over.
Of course.
Of course, you do the right thing and then you take the point and run.
Oh.
The desperation from Shauna Leigh just underlining what this match means. But have a look at the quality from Roanna Palasuk. Just a wonderful touch. Goodness.
Service over. 4.
Shuttle stuck to a finger. Don't see that happen often.
No, in fact, it's the only time I can recall having seen it this entire league. Just went to let the shuttle go, take a swing, but it was still on the hand. Nona was in two minds there as to whether to play or leave. Oh, this is tense. Oh, this is just sumptuous. It really is. We are dining at the best badminton buffet you have seen in a long, long time. We had acrobatics. We had circus tricks in the middle of that rally.
I tell you what, they're not leaving anything else out there. That's for real. They're throwing everything at this. And what are we? 5-all in the third game.
Wonderful. Such an anti-climax. We want a brilliant world-leading rally every time.
Play.
We're getting greedy. Good judgment.
7-5.
2 easy points.
8-6.
Well, what was the message there? Leave it, hit it.
9-6.
It worked out at the end. Oh my goodness. Oh, well, I thought I'd seen everything tonight. Oh, I tell you, just package this match and say this is the highlights. What a tussle. Points for the unbeaten combination for the OnePure Wolves to stay alive, to take this tie to 3-2. The Dragons would lead, but the Wolves would be alive going into the final mixed doubles. Owner Pack has nerves. Oh, it was the serve that was the undoing. What a brilliant, brilliant match. I think the best match of the entire LearnCoach New Zealand League. It had everything. Two brilliantly matched combinations, and what a fight back, having dropped the first game. Palasuk and Anona Pack, they maintain their unbeaten record, but most importantly tonight, they stay alive in the tie, and they give themselves still a shot at making the finals in this competition.
11-9, 11-8.
That was really a wonderful game of ladies doubles. That, as you said, that had everything in it, and, from defence to attack to long rallies to patience to net rolls to diving. Everything you want to see in a really tight badminton match where everything hung on it. You had the opportunity to win tie, you had the opportunity to stay in the tie, and fortunately the Wolves have come through, so the tie is still alive. It's 3-2. One mixed doubles to go, and once again, it could be golden game or it could be a 4-2. We wait with bated breath, but the last match is lining up to be a beauty.
Wow, what a match. What a match. When you're in the middle of a match like that, can you appreciate how much fun that is for people to watch, or are you just in the moment and just so zoned in?
Yeah, for me in that match, I was just focusing on myself, just trying to calm myself, breathing. So Rowan did a wonderful job to help me as well and support me and, yeah, cover for me as well. She did everything.
Good fun to play in one like that, surely. Really good fun.
It was a bit, nerve-wracking because I thought I wasn't playing that well, but I just told myself to take a deep breath and just like every shot counts. So, yeah.
I'm used to seeing that smile. We're all used to seeing that smile. Did you get a bit grumpy a couple of times?
Yep. The smile is still there, just goes the other way on court.
Well done. Amazing match. Really was. What a highlight. I think one of the best we've seen in the LearnCoach New Zealand League from any combinations, and your opponents deserve credit as well. But well done. You've kept the tie alive, and I know you've got to go and play another game. So good luck in that one. Well done, guys. Congratulations. So the OnePure Wolves, Anona Pack and Rowan Palasuk, they keep their unbeaten record intact, and most importantly, they keep the tie alive. When we come back, it's mixed doubles, and it's one of those ones. Are we going to a golden game? Or are the Dragons going to get it done?
Well, we are back, and I can tell you the players, the officials, all of us still buzzing from a quite remarkable women's doubles match. Really one of the best that I've seen, and others commenting as well that it really was doubles right out of the top draw. It was a win for the OnePure Wolves. They stayed unbeaten, did Palasuk and Pack, and importantly, they stay alive. The tail of this one, the mixed doubles went the way, perhaps surprisingly, of the Dragons. They then won both singles. They led 3-love, but back come the OnePure Wolves with 2 wins, and they keep it alive going into the mix. Let's welcome our combinations for this final match. Or is it the golden game is a possibility? Well, Glenn Cox alongside, you've seen a lot more badminton than me. I'm still buzzing from that women's doubles, and I know the reaction we're getting week to week. People are loving watching around the world, here in New Zealand, this LearnCoach New Zealand League. We've converted my auntie Phyllis. She loves her tennis, and she's messaged me to say, I love the badminton. So we are getting new fans, but what a match that was.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it had everything in it, and it was so tight, and then so much rested on it. So the result was important. So as a result, we're still alive. So once again, this match now means everything.
Choose your end. Here, okay. 2 minutes.
And this is fascinating in that on the surface of it, we've got 2 singles players against 2 mixed and or doubles experts, albeit Rowan's just 16 years of age and so too Shauna Leigh. But this is going to be a wonderful contrast, isn't it, as we see Rowan Palasuk fresh off the back of that doubles game and playing beyond her 16 years, clearly, and loving every moment, I think. I say I think. I'm not sure about the interviews. I think she'd rather skip them, but she's coping superbly. And Shauna Leigh on the far side, also having come off that doubles, must pick herself up, and she will. The advantage of being 16 is that the memory tends not to store those losses for too long. You just move on to the next one. And Shauna playing alongside Oscar Guo, who won his singles in comfortable fashion earlier tonight. And they will look to combine with that explosive power that both possess, as well as the finesse when required. And there's Oliver Leyden-Davis. Again, as is so often the case, he is the senior pro in amongst the 4 on court. And he will be looking to guide Rowan Palasuk and lean on Rowan Palasuk. This is very much a combination that's starting to work very much together, and you can't hide. And we've seen that from Rowan. She's more than capable and contributing to some great spectacles here in the LearnCoach New Zealand League. Okay, I've talked about the contrast. You give me some more info and some background, and then tell me which way you see this going.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Both Oscar and Shauna have played mixed a number of times through the age groups and bits and pieces, so they're not foreign to the game at all. So I'm sure that they're going to step up. And once again, they're both confidence players, and if they can get their tails up, then it's look out. Quite unusual combination. We've got 2 left-handers at one side, so that needs to be taken into account from the opposition, etc. And as you've got Ollie with all the experience in the world, so you couldn't platform it to be a better match at the end of it.
I still haven't heard you jumping off those picket fences at the moment.
No, I'm sitting on it, I think. I think you'd have to back the doubles and mixed specialist with Ollie and his experience, but she'd probably be about a 55-45. So it doesn't take too much to throw that the other way. And I've certainly seen Oscar, once his tail's up, can be quite dynamic and change a match very, very easily. So,
ladies and gentlemen, on my
only
right,
to 11, so it has to be quick.
OnePure Wolves, represented by Oliver Leyden-Davis and Rowan Palasuk. On my left, Huawei Dragons, represented by Oscar Guo and Shauna Leigh. OnePure Wolves to serve, Rowan Palasuk to Oscar Guo. Love all, play.
Youngsters start on the front foot.
Serve over, 1 love.
Look for Guo to play that lethal smash of his towards Palasuk whenever he can.
Serves over, 2-1.
Combining well.
Yeah, left-handed Makes a difference.
3-1.
Oscar and Shauna played together in the LearnCoach League for the first time last week and had a good win over the Hawks. Leighton Davis and Apalasuka 2-1. 2 wins, 1 loss in their 3 matches in the league. It's a poor serve.
Stops over. 2-5. Stops over. 6-2.
Well, they love to attack, and they are bossing this first game, aren't they?
Timeout.
To the extent that Fanny Megawati says, let's just call a halt to proceedings and have another chat about this. I'm sure she'd rather not have to have used her only timeout so early in the match.
Can I review my 55-45?
It's on the record.
They're looking very good at the moment. Those Hawaii Dragons.
And of course, a win for the Dragons wins them the tie, whilst the Wolves, the best they can do is force a golden game. And if you win outright, you take all 3 points. So they would much prefer to get the job done here
20 seconds.
than what can be the lottery of a golden game.
7-2. Play.
Generating that power, going backwards.
Stops over. 3-7. Stops over. 8-3.
Oh! Shauna initially went, realised she couldn't make it, then left it. By then it was too late. Oscar was back on his heels.
4-8.
Just edging their way back into it. More than edging now, they're taking some pretty big strides. Here come the Wolves.
8. Stops over. 9-6.
Oh, the reaction time.
Stops over. 7-9.
No one's given this match away. Everything to play for.
Shouts of determination from Oscar.
Stops over. 10. Game point 7. Just. It's okay? Carry on.
Oh, they've ended up in each other's way, And of more concern here is that Palasuk has taken one to the hand.
First game won by Huawei
So
Dragons.
costly
11-7.
in the loss of the game, but let's hope not costly in any physical damage. Just a little bit of a hush around court side. Looks to be okay. But, let's talk about the damage inflicted on the scoreboard. Oscar and Shauna got away to a quick start, withstood a fight back, which you would expect to come from a quality pairing that the Wolves are, and then kicked away again.
Yeah. They certainly looked impressive at that start of that match and really carried it through. I think they've got the bit between the teeth, and they've really got the game faces on. So at the end of one game up, and the Wolves have got everything to do now. They've got to win the next two, and I think we might have seen some collateral damage and some rackets on that one. Might have been a couple of rackets not so good.
Yeah, the rackets can be replaced, but the fingers on the racket hand of a Palasuk are a little more valuable, aren't they?
Yeah, she seems to be okay, but everything to do now.
Gosh, that would sting too, wouldn't
Ooh,
it?
Yep. Yeah.
That would sting.
The rackets move at a phenomenal speed, so if they hit something solid, it hurts.
I wish I had the stat in front of me, and I should have it before I even mention it, but fascinated always by the knowledge that badminton is the fastest racket sport, that the speed of the shuttle off the racket initially,
Play.
it's phenomenal. Too much speed and not enough accuracy. Oscar Guo was like a 100-metre sprinter across that back court.
Captain of Tin Roof. Here to play.
Well, they persist with this lifting of the flick serve at Oliver Leighton-Davis, and it's not paying off at the moment. They won the first game, but it's a high-risk strategy.
It can sometimes be a confidence with that short serve if they're not feeling confident with it.
Don't give Leighton-Davis a little boost in confidence here.
2.
That's exactly what's happening. Just watching the movement of the New Zealand, dare I call him it? No, I won't call him that. Experienced player. You know where I was headed, Glenn. But his movement there was superb. And even though at times it looked like he was at his limit, in truth, he was always in control.
Yeah, I mean, his anticipation and knowledge of where the shuttle's likely to go is just puts him that little half step ahead. Break.
2.
See if they can capitalise on it.
Service over. 3-5.
There's clearly some nerves when serving to Leighton Davis.
3. Play.
Oh, beautifully held back, wasn't it? Made the decision so late, Apalasuk.
7-3.
Shauna Leigh had already gone on the straight. That's where she thought it was going, and it didn't go there.
Well, they're starting to gel now. Not sure that Wolves have biceps, but they're starting to flex them. Big time.
9-3.
Ricky Siegemund is resisting the urge for a timeout.
Service over. 4-9.
Coach of the Dragons perhaps just wants that for game 3, because I think there's an acceptance that's where we're
Service
headed.
over. 10. Game point 4.
Great control and great confidence from Apalasuk. No hesitation to step in and take the shuttle away from Leighton Davis because she was in control of the front court. Really impressive game. The Wolves not only back in it, but you would think with more confidence now going into game 3, a chance to remind you, goodness me, it just whets the appetite, doesn't it? Thinking we've got another 2 nights of great badminton next week. Tuesday night, Tigers against the Dragons. The Tigers already have booked a place in the final. Will the Dragons be playing for a spot alongside them? That could well be the case. The OnePure Wolves, meanwhile, if they can get some points out of tonight, if they can win in Golden Game, they'll be alive against the Hawks. And the Hawks will be very much the hunted in that situation. So it's likely, almost certain, that it's going to go down to the last round robin tie on the last night of round robin before we know our finalists. And that's perfect, isn't it, for the league?
Yeah, it keeps everything alive and everything to play for, which is fantastic. But you saw the Wolves really step up a gear in that second game and a comfortable win. And really, the Dragons now have to lift. They've got to come up to the level that's been set and get things back on the way it went before. But Oliver Leighton Davis really showed the experience there and started to dominate and control everything. And you saw that the score gap as he really played how he wanted to play. So it'd be interesting to see if that carries on or whether the Dragons can do something about that. But that was a very dominant game for them.
Yeah, certainly the challenge, the gauntlet has been thrown down.
You'll also notice, I think, with the 2 singles players that their serving is under pressure is starting to struggle. And that's because they haven't practiced and trained that sort of serving.
Play. One love. Service over. 1-all.
Oh, lovely touch. Gosh, that's good. Just get that shuttle tumbling end over end. It just takes all momentum out of it. That's been a real issue, serving to Leighton Davis in particular.
Subs-over, 3-2.
It's about now in game 2 that the Wolves took control. They got one right.
Boy, it had to be a good serve there, didn't it? Had to be right on the button.
Good call from Leighton Davis. Just because you're not receiving, you're not out of the point. Oh, brilliant. And Palasuk is loving every moment of this.
That's great defence because Oscar Gao hits it really hard. So for her to be able to get those back and control the shots she's hitting with the defence is really exceptional.
She is thriving. Oh, just one time too many. And let's credit the Dragons here because it looked like they had the point won early on and they had to stay patient, and they did. What defence, though, from the Wolves.
And a really good variation of that last drop shot. They were sitting quite deep, the Wolves in defence, and then Shauna Leigh just managed to pull really tight drops. Not able to get that far forward.
6-all. Play.
Oh, this is amazing. We saw it in the women's doubles, and it continues here. 16-year-old Roanna Palasuk.
Play your.
This time it's the turn of the Wolves to fall foul of a less than satisfactory serve.
7-all.
Again, they are coping with the power of Oscar Guo so superbly well.
Yeah, he's probably probably got to have a think about where he's hitting it now. He's hitting it hard, but maybe he's got to alter where that position of that shuttle's going. Hit maybe across the player more rather than straight at them.
You can breathe the tension in.
Haven't seen that happen. I mean, it's quick hands from the Dragons, but both the Wolves players on this forehand side of the court. Match point to take us to a golden game. Stretch again, unable to control it this time. Oh, that breaks your heart if you're a Dragons fan.
Anyway, there's a lot of players warming up on the other court.
What a match. What a comeback from the OnePure Wolves. The Dragons are disheartened. They shouldn't be. They've contributed hugely to a wonderful spectacle. But credit Oliver Leighton-Davis and Rowan Apalasuk for dragging that one out of the fire. They dropped the first and then came back with great confidence in the second. And they won a thriller. No wonder Fanny Megawati has a smile the size of the Harbour Bridge. That was just a stunning match. We've had a wonderful women's doubles and an equally captivating mix to finish us tonight. But we're going to Golden Game.
Yeah, what a fantastic third game in that match. It really swung in both directions and really could have been anyone's. But wow, what are we set up for now? I mean, everything still hinges on the result of this match, and now we go to a Golden Game, and it comes down to one single game to decide the whole tie. So we wait to see what the coaches decide they're going to eliminate and what we'll be left with, and then what players take the court, or player, depending upon whether we're in a singles or a double scenario. But a fantastic mixed, and still we're alive and everything to play for.
Thank you, Glenn. This is just the best badminton we are seeing, and we've still got another week of round robin, but we are delighting in the quality of badminton. Can you just give us your thoughts when you're in amongst that, Ollie? Can you appreciate what's going on?
I can now, to be honest. Yeah, it's a bit difficult in there. Like, we've sort of got the focus on exactly what we need to be doing. But yeah, those are the matches that you just enjoy being part of, eh? Like, it's what you do all the training for. So yeah, really nice to come out on the winning side of it. But yeah, you've got to love the occasion.
And riding the emotion, I mean, you were really expressing yourself. You were loving some of those close points.
I think I was just really nervous, so I took that out by like shouting. Yeah.
You had to fight back. The Dragons were so good in that first game. Then you were very good in the second. And the script was always going to be that the third would be tight.
Yeah, it was. They got off to a great start. Actually caught me sleeping a little bit, especially on the backhand side there with their speed that they came in. So yeah, good start from them. But yeah, and credit to Ryan as well, the way she was moving forward and especially able to play the short ones and just get us the attack again, which is really helpful in the second and third there.
I won't keep you for long because you need to go and stay warm because we're going to Golden Game. So good luck if you're involved, but well done on a wonderful win. So the OnePure Wolves take us to Golden Game with a win in the women's doubles and then a wonderful win in the mixed as well, with Rowan Apalasuk and Oliver Leyden-Davis winning a thriller in 3 games. So we're going the distance. In fact, a little overtime tonight, but why not? When we come back, we go through this wonderful process of first selecting the game. Then we find out who plays, and it will be 1 shootout to 11 to decide who gets the 2 points and who's left with the 1 point. Stay with us. Well, welcome back. It's that time. We've got the Golden Game board out again. It's a pretty fun board game too. We've had this out a few times in the LearnCoach New Zealand League, and we're going there tonight. And there's so much on the line, of course, with both teams desperate now to pick up the 2 points on offer to stay in with a chance of making the final. Our referee, Chin Fong, is here. Chin, you can lead the honours now with the coin toss, and we'll find out which of our coaches will be withdrawing a game first from the board. And then we take turns until we have 1 match left on the board, and then we find out who's playing, because the coaches do have the ability to sub in any player. Okay, Fanny has removed men's singles. Ricky goes straight to the mixed doubles. Women's singles has gone. Okay, now this decides. So Ricky, essentially you are deciding which match, or you gave us a little dummy there. You went to 1, and we've left the women's doubles. Fanny, a quick word about this match. It's been very, very close. A few nerves. Is that what this is about now, just controlling the nerves?
I think the players is more ready, because at the beginning they haven't played with them before. So I think they understand a little bit the strategy, everything. So hopefully that they can play better.
Is it a concern, Ricky, having had the lead and they've chased you down? Does that concern you?
Not really, not really. I could see who could win what matches, so it could be like this today, and it went that way.
It's been good fun, great entertainment. Good luck, guys. The coaches will go and have their final word with their respective players now, and we know what match we've got. We're going to play women's doubles, so we'll get Glenn's thoughts on that as we go to a golden game.
Well, it probably caught me a little bit by surprise. I actually picked that we probably have men's doubles, so I guess we wait to see what players come on the court. Once again, during the match itself, it was a tight women's doubles game, going to 3 and only 11-8 in the third. So really, it's a 50-50 call on this one, and we've only got one game to play, and it's anybody. So we just wait to see what the player selection is and whether it's the same as what we saw.
Yeah, and that's the key, isn't it? Is that it is one 11-point game. It's not a full match, and if indeed it is going to be Shauna, Leigh and Ashley Tan, in fact it's Shauna, and we're getting a word, it's going to be Shauna and Alyssa. So Shauna and Alyssa Taggle for the Dragons, and it'll be Rowan Palasuk and Anona Pak. So the regular combination, if you like, for the OnePure Wolves. They're unbeaten. They're 5-0 now in this competition, and a change-up. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's caught me by surprise, I must admit. So it'll be interesting to see the thinking and the theory behind that. But based on their performances so far, you'd be putting a bit of money on the Wolves on this one with how strong their ladies have been throughout the tournament.
Yeah, and listen, no disrespect to the players, but of course Fanny Magawati made a pretty quick grab at the singles to take them off the board.
I think they were always going. It was really coming down to which of those doubles events was going to be played. And when I looked at the results from previously, I thought that the men's doubles would be the event we'd be watching. So it's certainly caught me by surprise. So it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out.
Because in effect, Ricky Siegerman, the coach of the Dragons, has chosen this match.
Yes.
She had the ability to go men's or women's doubles.
Yep.
And has chosen this one. So 3-3 we are, and we are going to golden game. Remember, now that means that neither side can get all 3 points, but the winner will take 2, the loser will take 1, and they desperately need them going into the final round robin next week. Let's introduce our players for a golden game matchup. It is the women's doubles. One game to 11. I think also, Glenn, this is a real challenge for 16-year-old Shauna Leigh. We've talked about how calm, how composed these youngsters are. She wasn't happy having lost that mixed doubles. And fair enough, you don't want players to be happy when they lose, but she's got to turn that around. She's got to bounce back.
And she's got another opportunity. So, you can, the glass half full or half empty. She can take that opportunity.
And who will
and give
receive?
it the best
Shauna to
shot she
receive.
can.
And you'll serve.
And come out the winner on the day if she can put it together. You've also got Alyssa Taggle, who hasn't played since the first match. So she's got to get warm and get back into it. And there's not a lot of time to do that. So all the others are recently coming off the court. And yet she played in the first game and the last.
Now, as a combination, Shauna Leigh and Alyssa Taggle have played 3 matches in the league. There's Anona Pak, who has the advantage of having not played too far back in the tie, was involved in that women's doubles alongside Rowan. Alyssa Taggle, though you've mentioned, Glenn, it's been some time. She'll have cooled down, but all players were actively warming up for quite some time during that final mixed doubles clash. Alyssa will partner Shauna Leigh, and there is Shauna, and she has had quite the workload. This is essentially her 4th match of the night for Shauna Leigh, having played in the singles, the mix, the doubles, and now again in the doubles. Rowan Palasuk, who's had a very good night with wins in the doubles, wins in the mixed, and she has to be one of the names in the reckoning for the Crystal Ashley Designs MVP, which I'm going to surmise will be decided based perhaps on the winner of this. There are a number of contenders, but I was mentioning that Shauna, Leigh and Alyssa Tackle have played 3 times. They have a 2-win, 1-loss
Ready to play.
record. They did play against Rowan Palasuk and Anona Pak in the second round, and that went 9-11, 11-9, 9-11. So there's very little between these two pairings. Sit back and enjoy. It's 1 game to 11. The winner essentially stays alive in the race for the finals. The loser mathematically might still have a shot, but gosh, they put themselves into a real hole. All to play for here in the LearnCoach New Zealand Badminton League.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, OnePure Wolves, represented by Rowan Applestock, Anona Pak. On my left, Huawei Dragons, represented by Shauna, Leigh and Alyssa Tagle. OnePure Wolves to serve, Rowan Applestock to serve to Shauna, Leigh. Level. Play. It's over. 1 love.
Did put a couple of serves into the net late in that mixed game. Anona Pak is dialed in though.
It's over. 1 all. Two, 1.
A little tied up, straight at the body, and Palasuk couldn't get the racket clear.
It's over. 2 all.
All 4 players now nicely into this 1 game, golden game.
Over. 3 all.
As the form book suggested, it is close.
3.
So patient.
you're saying earlier in the
5,
night there wasn't much tension,
3.
or they were trying to play for a bit of fun. I'm pretty sure there's quite a bit of tension out there now.
And yet they're coping with it so well.
Over. 4, 5. Play.
Shauna Leigh just at times appears to have just lost the rhythm on that backhand defensive push.
4.
Could be a little bit of nerves in there as well.
Oh, they pounced. That was a race to see who could get there first and put the winner away. 3-point margin now.
7, 4.
OnePure Wolves with 3 love down in the tie. They brought it back to 3 all. Good depth.
Over. 5, 7.
Oh, brilliant.
Over.
Everyone, not just the 4 players on court,
8,
feeling the tension. You could
5.
hear a pin drop during that rally.
Ryan.
Incredible. Incredible. At 3 love
9,
down in the tie, they looked gone.
5.
The Wolves look like they've been... It's in. It's in.
Over.
Players breathing heavily.
9. That's a long, long rally. They'll do it all over again now.
Match points.
It's over.
A chance to win the tie.
10. Match point. 6.
A win that's an hour and a half back looked most unlikely. Tagle, I think, had her heart in her mouth there. Oh my goodness me.
Over. 7-10. Change. 8-10.
Oh, this is captivating. This is captivating. They've saved 2. They now face a 3rd match point.
9-10.
It's out. It's out. It's called out from the chair as well. What a remarkable comeback from the OnePure Wolves. Incredible scenes. There's a degree of disbelief here from the Dragons, who can't quite believe that this has gone against them. There's an element of shock. I just don't know they want to believe it. What a night of badminton and what a comeback from the OnePure Wolves.
Match
And
won by
they
OnePure
stay
Wolves.
alive. They
11,
stay alive.
9.
And they will have their final matchup next week in the round robin against the Hawks, knowing that their destiny is in their hands. But, well, we shouldn't have expected anything else other than a close match.
Well, over a whole evening, I don't think there's nothing we haven't seen to come out of the extraordinary. A number of close matches, and then capped it off with just a stunning golden game that really has got everyone stopped. There's almost no noise in the hall. It's all gone speechless with that last call. But what a fantastic exhibition of badminton.
Well, you can celebrate now big time. I know there's still some nerves going into a golden game, but what a comeback from your team. This is one to treasure, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, especially since I was really nervous in that game. I'm just happy that we got out with a win. So,
well, a lot of these younger players keep saying they're nervous, but they keep coping with it brilliantly, and Rowan did there.
They're nervous. I'm just as nervous.
But you just find a way through it, don't you? And just go to your systems, go to what you've practiced over and over and over.
Yeah, with the turnover quite quick, we had to reflect what we did in our doubles earlier before, and then just said, okay, these are the things we've got to change, these are the things we've got to correct, and we just did that on court. So, yep.
Well done, congratulations, and I can double the celebration because, Anona, you have been named the Crystal Ashley Designs MVP, so $100 and the trophy, the beautiful gift from Crystal Ashley Designs, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Anona, and well done, Rowan, winning the golden game on a marvellous comeback for the OnePure Wolves. They've levelled it up at 3-3. Well done, guys, congratulations. Levelled it up at 3-3 and then take out the golden game to win the tie. They take 2 points and they stay alive. I'll bring Glenn Cox back in to just have a final chat and a wrap-up on this. An exhilarating night. From the coach's perspective, I wonder if they are going to nitpick a little more than we are. From an entertainment perspective, that was absolutely top-notch.
Yeah, I guess you make your decisions on what you feel is right, and the results roll one way or the other. So they've got to back what they think, and on the day, one team won by 2 points.
And so they stay alive. I mean, they're not technically the Dragons right out of it just yet. Mathematically, they've got a chance, but they certainly need now all the stars to align. For the OnePure Wolves, though, they can go into their final match next week against the Hawks, and it's a very simple formula. Win, and you're in the final.
Yep, or either of those teams, could well finish second. So that amounts to everything on that match, much like it was again tonight. Everything rode on that tonight, and what a stunning outcome that you can go right down to the wire and everything mattered on those last few points.
Yeah, and I tell you, there was some feeling, and that's not a bad thing. There was some feeling at the end of that, and players should be disappointed. They should be grumpy. They should, and they'll cope, they'll learn, but it should be like that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's the whole learning curve. As much as you can be a good winner, you've got to accept a loss and how to address that and how to come to terms with that. Tonight it was the Dragons, Other nights it's been the Wolves, so it just goes in roundabouts, and all players have to learn to be able to win and be able to lose.
Good stuff. Appreciate your work tonight, Glenn. Thank you for your comments and that summary. And what a night it's been. We've had some overtime, but I know you will have enjoyed it. We certainly have in bringing it to you. A thrilling night for the OnePure Wolves. They were 3-love down. They come back to 3-3 and then win the Golden Game 11-9. The good news is we do it all again next week, Tuesday night and Wednesday night, before we go into finals week the following week. And all we know at the moment is the Tiger Brokers Tigers have one spot in the final. Who will join them? Make sure you join us next week to find out.